Welcome to another Fantasy Goodfellas video where we talk about the top 30 wide receiver rankings for week 4. Richard, you ready?
Let's do it.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
Boom, boom, boom.
Rolling on the field.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
All right, before we get started, Richard, tell me how you did on last week's rankings.
Well, last week we hit on 16 of our top 30. It was a wild week for wide receivers. Just listen to this list of guys that didn't make the top 30. Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Williams. It was a crazy week.
All right, well, there's always this week. Before we get started, let me just explain what you should expect in our video. Richard's going to give his rankings, and I'm going to use our stat machine to see if you agree or disagree with each of his rankings, and hopefully it helps you set up your own lineups. All right, Richard, line them up.
Number 1, Cooper Kupp at San Francisco. Cooper Kupp had his worst week of the season. Still, like we said, his floor is super high. He still scored. And number 2, Stefon Diggs at Baltimore. It's Josh Allen. Stefon Diggs didn't score in week 3, playing against a tough Dolphins defense. But Josh is definitely looking his way. We expect him to score. And number 3, Justin Jefferson at New Orleans. Where has Justin Jefferson been? He's killing his fantasy owners. We expect him to rebound at some point. He's too good. And despite this matchup, I think he'll go over 100 yards. At number 4, Jamar Chase, home against Miami. We'll see how Jamar Chase does upcoming Monday night. He has caught touchdowns, doesn't have the yardage, doesn't have the long touchdown catches he had last year yet. And number 5, Tyreek Hill at Cincinnati. Tyreek Hill was quiet in week 3, but we expect a rebound, a big rebound. You're going from Buffalo to Cincinnati. Tyreek Hill is a monster. I expect big numbers. And number 6, Devontae Adams, home against Denver. At some point, Derek Carr will start hitting Devontae Adams consistently. And this might be the week. And number 7, Deebo Samuel will be home against the Rams. Deebo Samuel's awesome. Jimmy G still trying to get it together. We'll see if he puts it together this week. But Deebo Samuel gets enough touches, usage, and he's explosive enough to always be in our top 10. And number 8, A.J. Brown will be home against Jacksonville. I'm starting to believe. I was a doubter, but I'm starting to believe in Jalen Hurts and this Philadelphia offense. And A.J. Brown is a big part of it. And number 9, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who will be home against Seattle. This is a great matchup. St. Brown had been brilliant through 2 weeks. Week 3, he had a dud. We expect him to rebound. And number 10, Michael Pittman, home against Tennessee. Pittman is back. We know that Matt Ryan's having his issues, but Pittman is a strong receiver and his number 1. And number 11, Mike Evans, home against Kansas City. Mike Evans is back, and he's rested, and he's up against a defense that's vulnerable. And this could be a very high-scoring game. We will see. If Brady can't put up numbers here, we might be seeing the end. And number 12, Jaylen Waddle at Cincinnati. Jaylen Waddle had a fantastic game against the Buffalo Bills. Numbers-wise, didn't put up fantastic numbers, but he made the key play on a 3rd and 12. That was essentially the most important play for the Dolphins in their win against the Bills. And number 13, Marquise Brown at Carolina. Brown had 17 targets in week 3. He didn't score, but that is significant. Kyler Murray's starting to trust him and look his way. And Marquise Brown's explosive. He's going to make things happen. He'll score this week. And number 14, T. Higgins, home against Miami. It's Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and they're going to have to put up big numbers to compete with Tyreek Hill and Jaylen Waddle. This is going to be a fun Thursday night.
Hold on. You got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins higher than Tyler Boyd. I know you like these guys. Jamar Chase, high ceiling, T. Higgins, but Boyd had a better week.
Boyd had the best week 3 of the 3, but to me, Boyd is wide receiver 3 in that offense. We will see how it goes. Obviously, if the trend changes, I will adjust. But right now, based on history, based on last year, I still think it's Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and then Tyler Boyd. And number 15, Amari Cooper at Atlanta. Cooper had a solid week against Pittsburgh. Jacoby Brissett and him are building chemistry. Cooper's a good receiver, runs great routes. Atlanta's a good matchup. And number 16, Portland Sutton at Las Vegas. A good matchup. The question is Denver going to air it out? Is Russell Wilson going to air it out? And number 17, CeeDee Lamb, home against Washington. CeeDee Lamb, fantastic touchdown he caught against the Giants. He is talented. Cooper Rush is gaining more confidence. And Dak Prescott might be back in week 4. If that happens, CeeDee Lamb's value obviously goes up with it. And number 18, Deontay Johnson, home against the Jets. Deontay's fantastic. Trubisky is not, but the matchup is fantastic. And number 19, Christian Kirk at Philadelphia. I would love to rank Christian Kirk a little higher. He's been very consistent. Trevor Lawrence has looked great, but they're playing Philadelphia, a red-hot defense, and that's why I have Kirk at 19. And number 20, Drake London, home against Cleveland. Drake London has scored 2 weeks in a row. We know what he did in college. He's a fantastic red zone target, a lot of talent. Cleveland matchup is iffy, but I think it's Drake London time. Number 21, Keenan Allen at Houston. We expect Keenan Allen to be back. We don't know if he's going to be 100%. We don't know if Justin Herbert's 100%. But if he's anywhere close, he's going to put up good numbers. And number 22, Devontae Smith will be home against Jacksonville. As I said, I'm starting to believe more in Jalen Hurts and that Philadelphia offense. So I think both A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are going to have great weeks. And number 23, DK Metcalf at Detroit. It is a good matchup. DK Metcalf caught a touchdown. Still waiting for that long play. But Geno Smith is starting to gain confidence. And as we saw last year, Geno Smith and DK Metcalf had chemistry. So I expect more this week. At number 24, Mike Williams at Houston. Mike Williams is someone that's trending down. I mean, what did he do in week 3? He caught a touchdown, but he caught one pass for a touchdown. I mean, that's great, right? If he's going to catch one pass, it might as well be a touchdown, but inconsistent. And at points last year, he was inconsistent like this, where he just wouldn't show up. Don't understand. And number 25, we have Gabe Davis at Baltimore. We saw what the Dolphins did to Baltimore in week 2. I think Josh Allen can have a repeat. This could be a shootout, right? Lamar Jackson against Josh Allen. And I think both Stefon Diggs and Gabe Davis will succeed. At 26, we have Michael Thomas, who will be home against Minnesota. Michael Thomas was on a tear up until week 3. We think he's going to rebound. I mean, there's question marks about, the health of Jameis Winston. But week 3, Olave had a fantastic game. I think Michael Thomas will be back to his touchdown scoring ways. And number 27, Terry McLaurin at Dallas. McLaurin made the top 24 in week 3. They were playing Philadelphia, tough defense. Now they play Dallas, who also has a pretty good defense, but they still can be beat for the big play. And Terry McLaurin is blazing. Number 28, the aforementioned Chris Olave, home against Minnesota. What did Olave have in week 3? 13 targets. We love targets. So for now, he's in our top 30. And number 29, Brandin Cooks will be home against the Chargers. Cooks has disappointed us 2 weeks in a row. This could be his farewell from the top 30, but I still believe in his talent, though I don't believe in Mills, don't believe in Houston. But Brandin Cooks is really good, so we'll give him one last chance. And number 30, Rashad Bateman, home against Buffalo. I think Lamar Jackson's obviously going to have to sling the ball to compete with Josh Allen and the Bills. And Rashad Bateman is his number 1 receiver. Didn't make the top 30 in week 3, but we expect him to rebound.
All right, I just want to point out a couple things about the rankings. I see Devontae Adams, you have him at 6. Some other rankings have him at 11. Thoughts?
Yeah, he's been disappointing 2 weeks in a row. I don't get the trend. I don't understand why Derek Carr doesn't target him more. Derek Carr is trying to look for the open man, but throw that out. target Devontae Adams, target Darren Waller. I hope he sees the light.
All right. Couple other things. You got Michael Pittman 10. Some other rankings have him at 20.
Yeah, he's coming back from injury, but I think he's going to be fine.
And one more, Amari Cooper. You have him at 15. Some other rankings have him 28.
Yeah, that's a potato one. Where do you think he's going to be? I see him as not an explosive guy, but a great route runner, someone that gets open. And what I saw on Thursday night is a guy that's building chemistry with Jacoby Brissett.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on here and sharing your top 30 wide receiver rankings for week 4. Any parting words you'd like to share?
Just stay with it. Good luck in week 4. Stay with it.
Those fantasy good fellas.
rolling on the field.
Those fantasy good fellas.